What is the location?
Lancaster Boulevard.
Welcome back to the Warcore YouTube channel, where today I'm going to be painting up this Rookie Trooper from my new game, Black Powder Red Earth. It's a 28mm resin miniature with some exceptional detail on it. Now you'll find that most of the colors we use in this type of game are going to be very dark with some nice bright colors to make it pop a little bit just on some highlights. So the colors I'm going to be using today are Dark Stone, Vallejo's Game Air, Metallic Black, Necromancer Cloak, Army Green, Tan Flesh, Barbarian Flesh, Pure Red, Dragon Red, Leather Brown, and then I'm going to be using some washes, which are going to be dark tone and light tone. So just looking to get him up to tabletop standard, nothing too crazy here. So I'm going to start out with the Dark Stone. Give it a good shake. And I'm going to be applying this to the pants. Now, on the official color scheme, these guys are all wearing blue jeans, but I don't know any operators that wear blue jeans, so I went with this Dark Stone, which is a nice kind of muddy brown color to represent their 501s. Nice comfortable pants to operate in, and then you have cargo pockets as well, so added bonus. Just looking to apply this as a single coat on the model, getting that base coat done. You don't have to be too neat here. I do like these Army Painter paints. They cover nicely and paint easily. All positives. Okay. Now we're going to go back and highlight that later. But like I said, we're just working on some base colors right now. And it looks like that's the pants. Okay, next up, we're going to go ahead and use that Vallejo Metallic Black. Now this is a Game Air color. This is really great for like weapon systems. Like these guys use M4s. So putting just a little bit of metallic black on there gives it a nice sheen. It's not bright by any means, but it does kind of let you know it is a different material that we're working with. So I'm just going to apply this to all the metal portions of the M4 to include the sights. We're going to stay away from the stock. We're just going to paint the upper receiver and lower receiver here. Now this isn't going to make it pop, but it will be noticeable once the metal's done. And then we're going to also hit this little antenna right here. And the back of his Glock. Just kind of the handle there that sticks out of the holster. Okay, pretty happy with that. All right, next up we're going to do some Necromancer Cloak. This is a very dark gray. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the raised parts of his equipment and also his shoes. So let's go ahead and start with the equipment. We got the holster right here. And then we got his extra magazines. We got his radio pouch. We got his first aid kit back here. And we got his backpack. Trying to stay out of the deep recesses here. Just kind of hitting the tops of everything. And then we're going to hit the side part of his helmet. where the rail system is. Okay, we're also going to hit his gloves. On both hands. There we go. So far, it's awfully dark. Probably can't see too much, but it'll come through here in a minute. So let's go ahead and get a little color on him with the army green. Now, most of the artwork in the books, I have them wearing red shirts, but this is a tabletop war game, so you do want to be able to differentiate the different types of classes that you're going to be running. As this guy's an assaulter, I'm going to go ahead and put him in green. And, you know, it's important for both you and your opponent to recognize kind of what you're playing with. So all we're going to do is hit the sleeves here. And then it's going to be real clear that this guy's a recce troop as opposed to one of the assault troops. Make sure you get the inside part as well. Don't have to be terribly neat here because we'll go back and clean things up as needed. Okay. We're going to go back to the Necromancer cloak and go ahead and hit the top of these shoes here. Now the pants do come down an awful long way, so you just happen to hit the very bottom of his feet here. Giving it a little bit of color over the black that we used to prime the model. Okay. So next up, we're going to get some flesh done. Obviously, you have your full color palette when it comes to the flesh types here. I got a couple guys that I painted up a little bit darker. This guy's going to be a little bit lighter skin just in order to kind of make it easier to see on this painting. A lot of the CT Scorch models, or the guys who work in CT Scorch, come from Iraqi counterterrorism forces. So they're obviously going to have darker skin. And then operators come in all colors, so feel free to kind of mix this up. But this is nice and easy to see. Okay. This is where the model really starts coming to life. Getting a little bit of the skin tones here on top of the green that we already put. And it doesn't have a lot of exposed flesh, just really both arms with these short sleeve shirts. And once again, making sure you get the inside of that arm. All the way up to the glove. All right, now red is another color that really pops off this miniature. So we're going to start with some dragon red here. And the places where you see red is on the night vision goggles and also the Oakley sunglasses that they wear. This Dragon Red will be a nice base for us to work from. And so I'm going to grab my detail brush here in order to hit the Oakleys. And all we're doing is dabbing a bit on both sides. And then we're going to start laying down a base coat on the night vision goggles. And then also the gun weapon sights. Right there on the front. And then you're going to have a hard time seeing this, but we're going to throw it on the back as well. Okay, so we got a little bit of red there. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the model with some shade, starting with a light tone. Going to throw the light tone on the fleshy areas. Also, the area where we put the army green. Inside and outside, and then we also want to hit his pants with this as well. Kind of darken up those creases. Be nice and generous with your washes so they can work into the recesses and provide that depth you're looking for on the tabletop. Okay, and then for the pieces of equipment, we're going to use the dark tone. So that's going to go over the weapon system, his gloves, his helmet, and his backpack. Also going to throw some on his shoes. All right, starting to come together. As you can see, we got some nice color on him, but he's still plenty dark. All right, so next up I'm going to do is mix up some of my dark stone that I have on my palette with some of the leather brown to lighten it up a little bit. Give it a good mix. And what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the pants. So focusing on the knees and anywhere light might hit them. And anywhere you just feel like it just needs a little bit more pop to it. So tops of any creases that you see, especially the flat areas where light might hit it. He's got a couple of pockets on his backside. All right, pretty happy with that. Okay, we're gonna go back to the Necromancer gray. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit his M4 stock right there. And then just kind of highlight a little bit where that wash brought it down. We're going to do a brighter highlight in a minute, but this will just kind of get us one step closer. And hit the tips, the fingertips, and the flat part of the glove again. Okay. One place that I missed with the Necromancer cloak is his scarf that covers his face. So we want to brighten that up a little bit so it's a little bit different down towards his body armor. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some barbarian flesh. It's a little bit brighter color than the tan flesh. We're going to highlight those arms real quick. And this is really to pick out the muscle tone. So I'm going back to my detail brush right here. And any place that's kind of raised in the elbow up towards the skin right there, then on the inside. And then up on top. Okay, got some nice muscle tone. Anybody know what SEAL stands for? U.S. Navy SEALs. It's going to be sleep, eat, and lift. 3 things they do on deployments. Go Army, beat Navy. Okay, so a little bit more highlights now. We're going to step up from the Necromancer cloak, and what I have here is a uniform gray. That uniform gray, we're just going to be hitting the top of some of this equipment for a nice edge highlight. So back to the detail brush. And we're going to get the top of his assault pack here. With that area, just kind of arch raise. I like to highlight a little bit of his radio pouch. And then his individual first aid kit back here is going to get a little bit of it. In the very top of the holster. Down a little bit to the side. I'm also going to put a small line here on his buttstock of his M4. Let's give him a little bit something. Okay. As you can see, he's shaping up quite nicely now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Army green. Highlight those sleeves a little bit. Still got some on my palette. That's nice and good. And so we're just going up towards the shoulders and a little bit splotched elsewhere to give it some variation. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we want the red on those NVGs to really pop, so we're going to use some pure red here. And all we're going to do is dab that on the NVGs, also on his sights for his weapon. And then in the artwork, what they have is a patch that goes right above the rail system. They're going to have one on the backpack, and then we're going to want to dab some right on the front here, which is where their main patch is. All right, that's a little bit more than I wanted, so we're going to clean that up. Okay, and then you can go back and you can clean up anything else you might need to clean up. So up here on his scope, I got a little bit carried away, and then just a little bit more down here to bring it back from the wash that I used, especially down here at the gun tip, the barrel, and again on his Glock in the back there. Last thing I'm going to do is use, again, this is the metallic black from Vallejo. I'm going to hit the NVGs. Okay, so that's going to do it for this guy. Like I said, nice and easy, tabletop quality. A little bit of pop from the red and the green, and he is ready to go. So hope you enjoyed that short tutorial. It shows you how quickly you can get your models on the table. Nothing too special there, just going to base him up and we'll be ready to play. So thanks for joining me. Hope you like it. And if you're looking for a little bit more involved tutorials, I'm going to go ahead and link those down at the bottom on the official Black Powder Red Earth YouTube channel. There's an actual artist who shows you how to do this a little bit more in depth than what I've showed you here. But if you're just looking to get them on the table, kind of like me, this isn't a bad way. A few colors, a few minutes, you're all done. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.